start.
Please start.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, class.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am. How's you all doing?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, so today, before starting the topic, I would like you all to see this picture and tell me what you observe. What kind of tools do you observe in this picture?
Measuring
Yes, very good, Shalvi. You
ma'am,
these are
syringe, thermometer.
yes, they are all the measuring tools which we use to measure different kind of weights of
Is
temperature,
another
etc.
device
So if you
open? Please mute all the devices. Continue, Sonali.
So if you have to measure the poverty of a country, which measuring tool will you be using?
Ma'am, income.
Poverty line.
Yes. So to measure the poverty of a country, we use poverty line. So our today's topic is poverty line. Poverty line, it's an estimated minimum level of income needed to secure the necessities of life. Here we have two important points, that is minimum level of income and necessities of life. Can you tell me what is necessities of life?
Ma'am, food and water basic requirements.
Yes, very good. Yes, the basic amenities of life are food, clothes, shelter, education, and health. These are the five most basic amenities of life or the necessities of life. Now, to secure or to afford these amenities of life, you need a minimum level of income. This minimum level of income, which is required to afford these basic amenities of life, this is called poverty line. It is predetermined by the government, and the person who lies below it, they are called poor. Now, the most common method to measure poverty is income and consumption. So here we have this two terms again, income and consumption. So do you know what does these two words mean?
Ma'am, income means earning or the money we earn.
Yes,
And
very good, Monica.
Consumption means money we spend to consume something or to fulfill requirements.
Yes, very good. Income is your earning or the salary that you get. And when you expend that salary on something like goods or services to lead on your life, that is called consumption. So if the income and the consumption level of a person, it lies below the minimum level of income, then that person is considered poor. This minimum level of income, which is also known as poverty line, so the person is having, if the person is having the income very less, below the minimum level that is required for affording the basic amenities, then of course the consumption will be less as well. And in that case, the person will be called poor. So this poverty line, it varies in different time period and at different places. Now, why does it vary in different time period and places?
Ma'am, with time income increases and different places have different level of income, and accordingly they determine things.
Yes, very good, Monica. As in different time period, the prices of commodities varies due to inflation, right? And in different countries, what happens? The development levels are different. So, due to in different times and different places, the minimum level of income required to afford the basic amenities of life, what happens? They changes. Then we also have the social norms. In different countries, the social minimum level of social acceptance for people being poor is different. This we can understand better with an example. Like a person who is not having a car in USA, he will be considered poor there. But that same person will not be considered poor in India because not having a car is not considered poor in India. Middle class people also does not have car, but they are not poor. This happens because the minimum level of social acceptance is different in different countries. So the three very important factors, that is the development, the prices of commodities, and the social norms, determines why the poverty line differs in different time period and in different places. Then this minimum level of income, to determine this minimum level of income, we need to calculate the requirement of food, the requirements of clothing, the educational and medical requirements, fuels, footwear, and various other basic needs that we require for having a decent or standard life. Now, if we have to calculate the formula of food requirements, okay, then that is based on the calorie requirement. Can you tell me what is calorie?
Unit of energy.
Yes, very good, Shalini. That's correct. It is a unit of energy released when our body breaks down the food. So let's understand this in reverse manner. This will help you to understand it better. For doing certain work, you need calories, okay? And for getting that calories, you need food or a balanced diet. Then for affording that balanced diet, you need a minimum level of income, right? That minimum level of income is called what? Poverty line. So you see how poverty line is connected to the calorie requirement, right? Now, to the calorie requirement, it varies from different individuals. Can you tell me the reason why it varies?
Ma'am, because different people have different requirements and they perform different works, so according to their calorie intake also varies.
Yes, that's the exact answer, Monica. Very good. The calorie requirement varies based on the age, sex, and the type of work they do. Different people of different age, they need different calories, and biological is proven that the people of different sexes also require different calorie requirements. And most important is the type of work that they do. The person who do more physical work, they require more calories, and the person doing less physical work, they require less calories. To determine the average calorie requirement calculated in rural area is 2,400 calories per person, and in urban area it is 2,100 calories per person. You can see the difference here. The calorie requirement in rural area is higher than the calorie requirement in urban area. Do you know why what's the reason behind it?
Ma'am, because in rural area they are mostly engaged in agriculture work or something like that, hard work, and in urban areas they are usually sitting and working, so they are not doing something which requires more calories. That's why.
Yes, exactly. The main occupation of rural area is agriculture. So what happens for the people engaged in agriculture sector? They do more physical work. Hence, they need more calories. Then the people living in urban area, they don't do much physical work. So the calorie requirement in urban area is less. Then to afford this calorie, a monetary value is required, a minimum level of income is required. So this minimum level of income, it's fixed. The poverty, which is called the poverty line, so it's fixed in India, and it is 816 rupees per month for urban area, for rural area, and 1,000 rupees per month for urban area. Then again, you can see a difference here. The money required, the minimum level of income required in rural area is less than the minimum level of income required in urban area. Now, in previous slide, you saw that the calorie requirement in rural area was high, right? Then the amount to afford this calorie or the minimum level of income in rural area, this is less. How so? Can you tell me why this is happening?
Ma'am, because goods available in rural areas are cheaper in comparison to urban areas. One of the
That's a
reasons.
brilliant, yes, that's a brilliant answer, Monica. The commodities in the urban area, they are expensive in comparison to rural area. So for affording a minimum level or the basic amenities of life in urban areas more expensive. You need more income to you need more income to afford that same basic amenities, which you in rural area you need less income to afford that same basic amenity, that is food, clothing, and shelter. Now, this poverty line. this poverty line, it revises. It gets revised periodically in span of like 5 years with the help of sample surveys. We collect the samples are collected or the data are collected, and based on that, the poverty line is revised in the period of 5 years. These samples are collected by the organization NSSO. Now, NSSO, this is an organization which stands for National Sample Survey Organization. It was established in 1950, and it collects data from all over India for various different fields, and it collects the primary data. Now, based on the data that NSSO collects, the poverty line is revised in our country, in India, over the span of 5 years. Then what happens that the international institutions like World Bank, they need to compare the development or the poverty level of two countries. But as we know that the poverty line is different in different countries. So what happened? A problem arose where they weren't able to compare the level of poverty in different countries. To solve that problem, the World Bank fixed a uniform standard for the poverty line, which is $1.90 per person per day. So now the problem which these international institutions faced earlier, that was eradicated. And what happened? A uniform standard poverty line was created, and that helped in comparing the progress of the two countries. So that's all for today. You have any doubt? Well, let's have a recapitulation first. So what we studied today, first we studied what is poverty line. It's an estimated minimum level of income which is required to afford the basic amenities of life. Then we saw how it is determined. It is determined on the various requirements, that is educational, medical requirements, food requirements, clothing requirements, etc. Based on the requirements, the poverty line is determined. Then we saw the poverty line in India, which is 816 rupees per person per month for rural area and 1,000 rupees per person per month in urban area. Then next we saw who determines poverty line. The organization NSSO, it collects samples, and based on that, the poverty line is determined. And last we saw uniform standard for poverty line, which was $1.90 fixed, so that we can compare two countries, the progress of two countries. Now, anyone have any problem? Any doubts? No,
ma'am.
No, okay. Then I'll be asking you a few questions, right? So here, my first question is, what is poverty line?
Estimated minimum level of income.
Yes, very good, Charlie. It's an estimated minimum level of income which is required to afford the basic amenities of life. Very good. Now, my next question is, why are the calories requirement of people in urban areas less than that of rural areas?
Because of their less work.
Yes, very good. Because the people living in urban area, they do less physical work. That's why they require less calories. Now, next question is, in 2011 to 12, what amount was fixed as the poverty line for people living in rural and urban area?
For rural area, it was 860, and for urban area, it was 1,000 rupees.
Yes, very good. For rural area, it was 816 rupees per person per month. And for urban area, it was 1,000 rupees per person per month. Very good, Shalini. Now, note down your homework. Write a short note in 100 words on NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Organization. So, thank you, class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, class, give the feedback.